I'm gonna need a tissue because I just might cry. And also I'm hot. I used to always worry about what people thought of me and would try so hard to live by society's standards. Then I realized that I was created to be different, and regardless of what I did, I would never fit in. So I decided to follow my dreams instead. Join me on this journey as I grow in my faith, go through the ups and downs of pharmacy school, and most importantly, being God's masterpiece. Y'all. I remember sharing in my other video that I was jobless. I had mentioned that I applied to a few jobs. A couple weeks ago, I heard back from one of the jobs that I applied to. This was a very different setting of pharmacy. It was at a prison. I didn't even know that pharmacists worked in a prison. Patients still need their drugs even in prison, but I just didn't know that they had full-time pharmacy staff. So I heard back and I got an email for a phone interview, and I was like, Danicia, what did you do? So I was like, you know what? This actually could be a good experience. You know, it'll be definitely be different than working in a hospital or working in retail. So I was like, you know what? Let's try this out. So I had the phone interview, which I thought went really well. And when I was asked like what my lowest like starting rate would be, I was like $16, you know? And this is me thinking that the minimum wage is $15 and it was actually $11. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should have said open. So I get an email saying that I did not get the job. And I wasn't like upset, but I also was like, oh, it's probably because I told them $16 instead of saying open. They probably thought that was too high considering that the minimum wage is like $11. I really wanted to get that experience, even though I kind of was also on the fence because I didn't know if I'd be too comfortable working in that setting, but I definitely wanted to have that experience. I thought that it would definitely help me to kind of just be more of a well-rounded pharmacist, seeing different situations, being in different situations, pharmacy related, I think is definitely really helpful. So, yeah. So I got the email that I didn't get the job, and I was just like, you know what, whatever. Like I wasn't really like planning on working while I was home doing my rotations this year. So I was just like, you know what, it's not the end of the world. So I decided that I wasn't going to apply to any more jobs. I said, you know what, just don't work. Take this time to really just focus on your rotations and study for your boards. So I was saying that, but on the inside I was anxious. Like y'all saw in my other video where I talked about it. It was just scary for me because I'm always working, and you know, the lifestyle that I live, I kind of need a job. Not saying that I live like a lavish lifestyle, but I do like to travel with my friends. I do, you know, like to enjoy my life. Yeah, so I was just like, it's going to be really hard, like not working, depending on my parents and all these different things. So I decided to just leave it to God. Honestly, I was like, you know what, if it was meant to be to work, I would work. And if it's not, it's not. God is going to supply all my needs. And like at some points I was getting anxious, and then I got to a point I was just like, you know what, whatever God has for you, it's for you, and you don't need to really worry or fear. Like God is going to take care of all of your needs. So I didn't really worry about it. I honestly just like I said, stopped applying to jobs, and I was just like, I'm gonna just live my life, and that's it. So literally, y'all, literally, my girl Kelita has started a YouTube channel. Y'all know Kelita. She did the video about medical school. In the video, I had talked about her starting a YouTube channel. She was like, no, no, no. But now she finally has started one. So go check out her channel. I will link it below. And it's also on my page somewhere. in the featured channels. You'll see her, but her channel name is Fit Med Girl. She's going to take you guys through her journey of medical school, fitness, just her life overall. I'm super proud of her and her medical school journey. Like, y'all, she really is out here doing her thing, and I'm so proud of the woman that she is and becoming, and I just think that y'all are just gonna love her channel, so go check it out. I recorded that video about everything is changing, talking about being jobless and like being a little anxious about that. The next morning I wake up, I get an email from the hospital, and it was just like, hi, we'd love to have a phone interview for a per diem pharmacy assistant position. And I was like, I applied to a per diem position. And for this hospital, I remember I did apply, but I remember that they only had like full-time pharmacy assistants. So I was just like, I'm probably not going to get this job because I'm still in school doing my rotation. So I was just like, oh, I didn't apply for a per diem position, but okay, like I'm not going to deny the interview. So we had the phone interview, and the woman is just like, oh, you worked here before, like, why do you want to come back? And I was just like, I love it. Like, if you guys remember, when I worked at this hospital, like, they threw me a going away party when I was going back to school. Like, they got me a cake, and it was just, they were amazing, and I loved that job, and I honestly would have stayed, but I had to obviously go back to school. So yeah, I was just like, I love it, and this is going to be really helpful for me as a pharmacy student getting ready for my boards. So yeah, so she was just like, oh, that's great. She was like, when do you graduate? I was like, I graduate next year. She was just like, oh, like, that's awesome. Do you plan on doing hospital pharmacy? And I was just like, I would love to. I really enjoy that field so far. And she was like, oh, nice, nice. And so she was just asking me a little bit about my hours and stuff. So I was telling her, like, I can do like evenings and weekends just because I do my rotations. And she was just like, oh, okay, yeah. And I let her know, like, I have one block off, so I could do days, and I'm flexible whenever because I'm going to be off for 6 weeks. And she was like, perfect. So literally she was just like, okay, well, we don't even need to like do anything more. You can just come right into the hospital and talk to your old bosses. I'm sure they're familiar with you. And you can have an interview with them literally like a week later. So I'm like, okay, like, this seems promising. So the next week I went to the hospital to meet with my old bosses, and when I went upstairs to like where the pharmacy was, like, she gave me a hug, and we were just sitting and we were just talking about, you know, how time has just gone by so fast, and like, you know, I was updating her with where I am in my program, and she was like, oh my gosh, like, you graduate next year. It was great. I gave her my updated resume, and then she was just like, oh, like, let me give you a tour of all the changes that we've made. So we did that, and so we went into the pharmacy, and I was just like, oh, the pharmacists are probably not going to remember me. Like, it's been 2 years. Like, I don't know. Literally, as soon as I walk in, one of the pharmacy, like, staff members were like, oh my gosh. And I gave them a hug, and it was just like, oh my gosh, yes, I remember you, and like all this stuff. They were really excited. And that just like warmed my heart so much because I was like, wow, like, I didn't even think that they remembered me, and here I am, like, in there, and they're like excited, and I was just as excited, if not more. So I'm sorry if my voice is cracking. I just like am still like in shock. So yeah, so after that I went to go meet with the director, who's my other boss, and so like gave her a hug. We were just talking, chatting. They were like, you'll hear back from us soon, don't worry, all this stuff. And then literally yesterday I got a call from HR, and the woman was just like, congratulations, we'd love to offer you a per diem pharmacy assistant position at the hospital. And I am just like in shock. Like, I literally had just like was just talking about how I was scared about being jobless and not working and living at home and like all this stuff. And literally God was just like, here you go. Here you go. And I'm just, like I said, I'm still in shock. I still can't believe it. This is like the probably like best thing that could have ever happened to me. Okay, maybe not like the best thing, but I'm just thankful to God because I literally said, you know what, I'm not gonna stress about applying to jobs anymore. I'm not gonna stress about doing all this stuff. And he just did it. Like, we don't even need to be doing all this work. And God is just like, I'm already working on it. Why is my child putting in all this work? And I'm already working on it. So just rest. And so I really hope that, you know, me sharing this, you can kind of see to just rest. I had stopped focusing on applying to jobs, like doing all this stuff, and instead just focus on allowing God to just take care of everything. And he literally did. And so when I got the email, they had put in like my pay rate, and y'all, I am getting paid way more than I had offered for the other job that I had the interview for. And I was just like, oh man, I probably should have like offered them less just so I could get the job, because they probably didn't give me the job because it was too much. This is for the prison. And they didn't even ask me a minimum start. They didn't even ask me like, oh, what wage would you want? Like they didn't ask me any of that. And they gave me better than what I anticipated. Like, I've never made this much in my life, ever. Like, the blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings, it just shows that we really don't have to worry. We don't have to fear. Like, God is seriously going to provide us with everything that we need. And when I didn't get the job for the prison, I wasn't like upset, but I also was just like, man, like that would have been nice to like have some extra money. And like the hours that they wanted were very limited. And now like with this per diem, it's kind of more flexible. Like they were just like, oh, when are you free? How can how can we work with your schedule? And it just shows that sometimes there are things that we want, and when it doesn't work out, we think that everything is not working for our good. Not realizing that God is at the forefront, taking care of everything. And he's just like, no. I had to reject that because there's something better. So sometimes we like look at a closed door as rejection, when in all actuality, God is just like, because there's a better door I want you to walk through. That there's something good on that side of rejection. So this kind of just showed me a little bit of that just in my life. In just other aspects, because sometimes I look at like a closed door like as rejection, or I look at it as like things are not working out, when God is just like, no, that closed door had to close because I have something so much better for you. Like something that you can't even like, you don't even know how good it is, but I had to close that other door because you thought that that was good. I'm about to show you what's up. Yeah, like if you feel like you've been like applying to job after job, or like if you've just been getting a lot of closed doors in your face, I seriously want to encourage you to just stop worrying, stop being scared, stop like being anxious about it, and truly give it to God. He desires to take that burden off of your shoulder. And I can't even lie, like although I had mentioned that I was like a little overwhelmed or just like anxious and stuff, I also had a certain piece of just like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. I have bills, but hey, like God is going to take care of it. And of course, I was being responsible with my money. Like I had saved a certain amount to take care of me this year, even if I didn't work. But that would have left me with like nothing for myself. So, I'm just truly grateful, and I just really hope that you are encouraged to know that God is seriously taking care of every little detail in your life, even when it seems like doors are being shut in your face, even when it seems like you're getting rejection after rejection. God is seriously at the forefront working everything out, and he has so much better. Like when I tell you, I'm just seriously in awe and just shocked and just like, Wow. And I really wanted to have this job just for like networking and connections, also building those connections with individuals who are in the field that I want to be in. And I think that's really important. A lot of times I get a lot of emails about how do you get a job in pharmacy, in the hospital? Like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And honestly, it's all about connection. With like, you can watch the video about me getting the job the first time. I was very persistent. And I remember talking to one of the pharmacists. I was just like, I really just want to get my foot into hospital pharmacy. I don't mind working for free. I don't mind volunteering, but I really just want to see that side. And then he was just like, you know what? We're going to try to get you some money. Like, let me talk to my boss. Let me talk to HR. Let me do all of that. And I got the job. So one of the things is to really have to even sometimes sacrifice, working for free, doing that internship, but that's going to help you to form those connections, because even working at the hospital the first time helped me to get the job the second time. Like I said, I really want to have these connections because I'm going to graduate next year, and I don't know if I'll get a job at this hospital. That would be great, like hallelujah. But also just having that experience of working in a hospital really helps with other hospital positions. So we'll see. I'm truly grateful. I know I probably don't look as like excited, but I'm still just processing everything like, whoa, like I got a job. And just know I'm gonna be tired. I'm going to be tired. The night shift is 4 to 12 a.m. and my rotation now finishes at 5. So she was like, oh, you can come in like 5:30, which I was like, that's fine. Cause that's what I did the last time. I like worked like 5:30 to 12 a.m. and I survived. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm truly grateful, truly, I, yeah. I can't even, put it in words, but I'm just truly grateful and I'm thankful, and God is faithful. God is so very faithful, and he's even faithful in those closed doors. Don't doubt God. Don't doubt God. I can't say that enough. Don't doubt God. He is taking care of you, even when it seems like you're getting rejected, even when it seems like doors are closing in your face, even when it seems like things aren't working out how you would like them to. He is taking care of you. Yeah, I know I've gotten some emails, and I think what I'm going to do is just dedicate another video to just answer all of your emails. And the reason why I like to make a video answering your emails and your questions and all that stuff is because some people have the same question. If you've emailed, why can't I talk? If you have sent me an email, I'm so sorry I have not responded yet. I've just been swamped with a lot of stuff. Don't get mad at me. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's it. Y'all already know the deal. You can comment below or you can email me at behismasterpiece@gmail.com. Go out, be kind, be caring, be loving, trust God because he's seriously so faithful. So believe and trust that he's taking care of you. And as always, be his masterpiece. Bye, y'all.